Alright, this is the masterpiece. My friend Lindsay asked me to create a little mechanically reproducible side-by-side tandem bicycle and that anybody could build. So this is it. It doesn't destroy your bike. It's parade worthy, but it's not really worthy of the Tour de France or anything like that. And it's got 3 pieces. I'm going to show you each one of them and how to put them together in a second. So there is the box frame. That's this up top. There's the stabilizer bar, which actually isn't stabilizing as much as I'd like to, but it's working. And there is a steering bar that just kind of connects the wheels so that they can turn together. I don't know if you can see that. Alright, I'm going to bring it inside because it's freaking cold out here. So I got a couple of bikes here. They are pretty evenly matched in size and shape. This design is going to work best on the old-fashioned triangle frame without all the gizmos and doodads of the mountain bike. These are a little bit slightly different size. I think the brown bike is about an inch taller than the red bike, which is causing me a few problems. So the closer your bikes are in size together, the better. Okay, now we're going to try to walk through the 3 pieces of this, and I'm filming this myself, so you'll have to bear with me. Alright, here's the box. There it is. This is the frame of the bicycle, and I made it 2.5 feet by 3 feet. If you're, I had scraps of 2x4 around. If you had one 8-foot length, you may be able to come up with a better size that allows you to use just one 2x4. But this one was pretty good. Okay, along with this box, you're going to need 4 U-bolts. That's what they look like. They've got bolts and a little washer. Here's one that just fell off on the floor. That's this. Okay, it's not showing up. Alright, so basically you just screw the ends together, toenail your screws so that they screw from this one into this one. I think there might be another one on this side, underneath, whatever. Just make a box, put some corner brackets on it just to hold it and make it nice and steady and even. And then, once you have that put together, you will want to slide the U-bolts onto the frame of the bicycle. You can see these ones are still on there. And I was not super careful, and so I marred the paint job just a little bit. So you could wrap your frame in duct tape or something like that, real thin layer of duct tape, just to kind of keep it from getting scratched. Anyway, what I did is I leaned the bike over and propped it on the frame, which is hard to film while I'm doing it. And then I just kind of measured and marked out a place for it to drill some holes into the box in order to attach it to the frame. Now I'll do that in a second and off camera, and then show you what it means. But the main thing is, this is getting ahead of ourselves a step. But once it's attached, you'll see. I don't know if you're going to see this. See right here. This is a part where I had to kind of carve out for the back fork. Now that's the hardest part about this particular operation, and it's not that hard. Okay, here I've got 1/2 of the bicycle contraption attached to the box, and I've just laid it over there. One little note here is that I did notice as I was laying this out that in addition to scratching the frame, I did bend it just a teensy bit. So if you have like a $7,000 custom made cruiser, you probably don't want to use it for this. Hey, it's Carl. Carl, say hello to the masses.
Hello.
Anyway, once you have it on here, you will see, because of the wonders of modern wood, that it'll sort of take the impression of the parts you need to carve away with a chisel. So just kind of tighten it on, put a pencil against it and trace the parts that you need to carve out, and you do the exact same thing on the other side. Alright, so you can see right here that what I've been doing is lifting it up and holding it against the other bicycle, and the seat post bolt,
the other bicycle,
is hitting right there, and the bottom of the fork is hitting right there, so you can get some sense of how much wood I'm taking out. And all I'm doing is just hacking with a chisel and a hammer, just banging away on it. Back up, you can see it. And I don't want to carve out too much, because then the 2x4 will break. But I need to get this part here nice and flat against the bar. Alright, so we have them tightened down, and we put a level against them, and they're looking, you know, pretty good. Now, the stabilizer in the back is the thing we want to do on next before we tighten everything down too hard. Basically, as you saw outside, that runs between the two back forks. And I have this thing already drilled. But basically, you know, measure from side to side. I had to, again, chisel out a little bit to have room to put the screws on. The problem that I'm having with this right now is that it's it's compressing the end of the wood, and that's weakening it. So I don't like that very much. And if I were going to do it again, I would use a piece of maybe 1-inch conduit, get a metal drill, pound out the end of it where you're looking at this board, and just pound it flat with a hammer, drill a couple holes with a metal drill, and put a washer similar to that one on the bottom of it and bolt that around this thing right here. But we're going to go with this because that's what we got, and we're going to hope for the best. Alright, so we got everything tightened up, and as we were tightening, we kept sort of checking the level of the bike to make sure they were sort of straight up and down as much as possible. And there's one last piece, which is that you just want to attach the two front tires together so that they steer together. In spite of that, it's probably smart to designate a person who is the steering person, and the other person can just be kind of light on the handlebars. So the way you do that is, if you look, most bicycles up here on the front forks, they're going to have some sort of reflector or possibly the brakes screwed through the through the front of the forks there, where you can see that eye bolt. Okay. Yeah. So basically, you can kind of, I think you can see what I've done here. You want to take out whatever is on that front fork. So if it's a reflector, just pop it off. Stick the screw in your pocket. Go to the hardware store and find an eye bolt, the longest one you can, that's the same diameter as that screw that you took out. Some of these holes are threaded, some of them are not. But if you really match up the screw to the eye bolt, then you will be fine. You want to get 2 nuts. I threw a couple washers on there. So you screw in the eye bolt, this part here, you screw it into the hole in the forks, put a bolt here, or a nut here, and a nut there, tighten them up, and you can see this one is already bent just from test driving this thing a little bit, so you're just not going to want to reef on it is all. And then you measure your 2x2, you get some bigger bolts that you can drill through the 2x2, drop those right into the eye bolt. Can you see that? And those will go right in like that on both sides. And if you measure from one eye bolt to the other with them roughly straight, then you're going to have a good rack and pinion, or actually just a rack, no pinion. And that's going to keep the two wheels aligned. If you don't do that, you're going to be in real trouble when you try to steer the thing. And that's the whole thing. I'll try to get some video of us riding it when it's light out.